next thing, which is testing related. Okay. So I think maybe you people have heard somewhere at least, right? Because you already work. Uh, so have you maybe heard about software testing? Okay. So what being there into the testing, right? In the testing, will evaluate, right? Will evaluate the requirement versus the actual result, okay, which is given by the software, right? So we'll have certain requirement, and based on that requirement, right, we'll verify the application, right? So whatever the requirement we are having, it is called as a uh, expected result, right? It is called as expected result that we are going to expect from the software or application, right? And after that, when the testing team is doing the testing, right? Then they will verify actual result from the application versus the expected result. If both are matching, the test case is pass, right? If both are failed, then or if both are not matching, then test case is failed basically, right? So such type of testing, okay. So in the testing also we have manual testing, automation testing, right? So same thing we can do with the help of our UiPath. Okay, so uh, now a lot of organization they have started using this tool for the testing purpose also. Okay, so let's go and see how can we do this. Okay, so we'll go. We'll create a process. So either we can go from the test automation, right? The same thing, right? The test automation, or we can go from the process also. Anything, right? So go ahead. We'll mention UI bank. So what is our problem statement here? Right. Here we have UI bank. Okay, so this is the application from the UiPath, UiPath.uipath.com. So what is our problem statement? Okay, but before that, let's check. Okay, so we are having this input file. Okay, so in this input file, what we are going to do basically, right? You can see here we are having some input, right? At the same time, we are having expected result also. Okay, so what is the input? What is the expected result? We'll see. So here we are going to apply for a loan. Okay, and then we'll click on apply for a loan, right? After that, we'll enter the values from here. Okay, for example, from your Excel file, right? So enter it, loan term, okay, that's currently 3,000. Okay, age 35. So for example, we have entered the values from here, right? Then click on the submit loan application. So I clicked on a submit loan application. Okay. So once we submit this information, right, you can see we'll be eligible for certain rate of interest, okay, which is a 6%, right? And what it is mentioned here as expected result, it should be a 7%, okay? So we have to match this loan rate versus the loan rate from the application, right? And if both are matching, right, we'll say test case as a pass. If both are not matching, we'll say test case as a failed, okay? So which is very similar to any automation testing basically. Okay. So let's go and see how can we do this. And once it is done, like if you go on the apply screen, will be okay. So now we'll go here. Okay. So we'll start with the flowchart. For testing, we have to follow little different things. Okay. So now we are here. So what we'll do, we'll add a sequence. Okay. So now here we have to verify this loan rate. Okay. So what is the first thing we'll do? We'll create a skeleton of this. Okay. So how to create a skeleton? Maybe we'll do it with the help of recording. Right. So we'll go here. We have to go this application. Home screen. But that's fine. Go here, click on the products. Okay, I just clicked on the products. Okay, this click on the products. We have clicked on the products. Then go here, click on the loans. Okay, so we have clicked on the loans. Right. After that, okay, it will- I will pause. So when we are clicking, it is going to the loans. Here only, right? Then start recording, apply for a loan. Okay. Then we have to enter this thing, right? So we'll keep it as a blank. Okay. So go here, the blank. Or just blank. Go here, page. Okay. Then click on the submit. Right. So save and exit. Right. So you can see. Uh, make sure you cannot get it. Right. Close. No, open all. Right. Then it will click on the products. Then it will click on the loan. Apply for a loan. Right. Type email ID. Then loan amount. Select the term. Then what is this? Loan income. All right. And age. And then we have clicked on the submit. Okay. So now what we have to do? We have to verify with this loan rate. So what we'll do first? We'll take this file here. Now we have to verify. So here what we have to do? We have to create a test case for this, right? So when we are testing something, we'll have test case, right? Test case. Test case means set of steps, okay, under that particular test. So we'll go here to the main, right click. Okay, here we have create test. Okay, create test. I have selected the create test. Here I will give loan rate verification. Loan rate verification. Okay, it will ask to select a location. Location can be anything, and test case format will be the BDD. I think whoever is in the testing, maybe you have heard like BDD testing or something like that, right? So click on the next. Then it is asking source. So we have to give the source as our Excel file, right? So we can mention as a file. Okay, so go here and select this loan code Excel. As soon as you select it, right, you can see all the data is available. Okay, and click on the create, right? Click on the create. So you can see as soon as you click on the create, right, it will create a separate flow, loan rate verification. Okay, then it will give the message data successfully imported, right? You can now access the data in your test cases via argument. Okay. Also, it has created three steps, three sequence: given, when, and then. So this is a BDD format if you are working on a Selenium or C Sharp, right? Creating any kind of BDD test cases. There also we are having such format given when then. Okay. So it has created in a same fashion. Okay, because this concept has come from there only. Given, when, and then, right? And at the
Well,
same,
sorry, I got disconnected for a few minutes. If you can show how this screen has come, the testing one,
sorry, how can we?
like how you have bring this screen, huh? Means I'm able to see that everything that you have recorded, but after that I got disconnected for a few minutes.
Okay, so you was there till like we have created this main flow.
No, no. I was there till the time you are doing a recording and everything,
Ah,
and after
so,
that.
so we have created the flow basically, right?
Yes, yes,
Till
yes.
submit application.
Okay.
Okay, this flow we have created. Now what we have to do? we have to convert this into the test case. Okay,
Okay.
we
Yeah.
have to convert this into the test case. So how can we convert into the test case basically, right? So go to the main, right click and mention create test. Okay. So if you create a test case, we can give the test case name as a loan rate verification. So you can see I have given a name as a loan rate verification. Okay. Location, and this is a format BDD format. Okay. So this is a standard format, even though you are working on Selenium or any other tool or UI. Okay. Then click on the next. Then select the data source. So our data source will be Excel file where we have all this input, right, along with our expected result. Right. So select as a file. Select file. So we have to select the file, right, and just click on the create. As soon as you click on the create, right, what will happen? This flow will get created automatically, where we'll have three sections given, when, and then. Okay, what is the purpose? We'll talk about it, and at the same time, it will show the message like data successfully imported, right? And now you can access it via argument. So if you go to the argument, right, it has created this argument. Okay, then next question is how it has created. So what it will do? It will take these headers as an argument. Okay, it will take this. Okay, so you can see all the, and by default it has taken the first row value. Okay, row value, but it doesn't matter what value it is taking because anyhow we are going to pass it for all the data. Okay, then next thing, given when then. So what do you mean by given when then? Given means we are giving something as an input. Okay, so those steps has to come into the given. Okay, given. Then when means it is processing. Okay, it is performing any particular task. Okay, and then means, then what will happen? Then what we have to do? Then we have to do verification. What verification we have to do? We have to verify expected result versus actual. Okay, so in this case scenario will not give anything from the given because we don't have any single input. We have to pass the input from as a dynamic, right? And those we have already imported here, right? And that, those are available in this argument, right? So keep it this blank, right? Now this is your flow which you have created here. If you click on the open flow, it will go back, right? So what we have to do now? Here we are not passing any values, right? So you can see here we are not passing any value. So we have to pass those values, right? So from where those value will come? Those values will come from this out. Okay. So we have to pass those values to this flow. Okay. So if you want to pass those values to this flow, right, it will not come directly, right? So we have to create an argument. So I will go here and I will create an argument. So they have created here, will create. Okay. So what are those arguments? Email address, right? So I will go here, will mention loan email. Okay. And it should be string. So loan. Okay. Then what is this amount, right? Loan amount. Loan amount, right? And we'll pass the loan amount. Loan amount. Then loan term. Loan term. So we'll give the loan loan, right? Then loan income. Loan income, right? Loan income, right? And loan age. So can go here. Loan, loan, right? So we have given those. Before that, do save all. I did save all, right? Now go back here to the loan rate verification, right? Click on the import argument, right? Now go to the argument. So you can see those are the arguments which we have created into the main. Okay. we have created into the main. And now here we have to pass the value from where those value will be into that particular flow, right? So it will be from those arguments we have created here. Ideally they should create a variable, okay, but that's fine. They have created as argument. So these are the arguments. So we have to define, okay, import. Okay, so this is loan email, right? So you can say loan email is this loan. Then next is loan amount. This is loan term. Okay. This is loan income. Loan in loan income. Right. And this is loan age. Loan age. Right. Same. Now the next thing, right? What we did, we have created a flow. Okay. Then we have created a test case. Right. When we create a test case, we have to pass our input and all. Right. Then it will create this loan rate verification flow. Okay. It will create a loan verification and flow in three steps, given, when, and then, right? And at the same time, it will create argument, right? In the given, we have to give uh, any input, right? But we don't have any single input. We have dynamic input that we are going to take from argument, right? So how to pass into the main? That's the reason we have created argument. Okay? So we have created argument, and here we did the map, right? So now we are done. Next thing. Next thing is we have to verify. What we have to verify? The loan rate which is coming from the application, right, from here, right, the loan rate which we are coming from here and the loan rate which is coming from the X, we have to map it, right? So how to map it? To go here, activities. Here we are having some activities related to the verification. Okay? So you can see these are the activities related to the verification. Okay. So all three activities will at the end will follow the same steps, but still I will show you. First is verify control attribute. Okay. Second one is verify expression. Third one is verify expression with operator. Okay. So now if you want to verify the Excel data with the application data, right? So before that, what we have to do, we have to fetch this information, right? So how to get this information? Get text, right? So use application browser here. We can use directly here. Okay. Indicate. So we have to work on this application, right? And use a get text. Get where is this text? This okay, 6%. Use this as an okay. Don't take this maybe APR or don't take this one, it might change, right? So I will take this as an okay. Done, right? Now we are going to take the that value from there. So we need a variable. So I will create a variable loan underscore rate. Okay. Now we have to verify it, right? So how to verify? Here we have, right? Output element. Output elements means the output of this, it will take automatically. So this should be equal to, right, loan rate, which is coming from the our input or Excel loan rate. Loan, right? This is the loan. So it will verify. And if it's not matching, right, it will mention its fail. If it's matching, it will mention as a success. And at the same time, we'll mention here close always, because here it will open separately the browser each and every time, right? Let's see. and open never. Let's see how it works. Okay, based on the behavior, we will see how to adjust it, right? So here we have to verify, right? Here we have seen, right, how to give it for verify control attribute. But here we don't have such mechanism where we can directly give this get text here. So what we have to do? In that case, we have to use separate get text before this, and we can type the expression. What expression we can type? Loan underscore rate, right? Okay, it is inside. So we can increase the scope. Mm, Loan rate verification. Okay. So what we can do? We can directly type loan underscore rate is equal to loan. Okay. Directly we can. Doesn't. Similar case is here as well. Here we have to write operator. Here it is already given, right? So there is no such thing. So we'll use the first. That is the best. Okay. Right. So we have done this. Correct. Now we have to run and see how it is working. Correct. So how to run this? In that case, we have to run this flow, not this. Okay. Make sure because we are doing each and everything into this flow. It will be loan rate verification flow, right? So what I will do, I will close this and run. So go here, debug, or just click. So it will start exiting. Okay. So I don't know when it is doing with the help of automation, right? What it is doing, it is opening into the another browser. Okay. But if you do manually, right, it is opening in the same browser. Let's see. No worries, even though that's not a big deal to handle. Okay. I will run one time. If it is still going to the another tab, we'll see how can we achieve it. Or let's see what error it is giving. Are it's really going there or not. Let's see. Let it throw the error so we'll understand in a better way. And this is doing in only modern activity. Okay. If you use the legacy activity, it will open in on the same page. Yes, we are getting the error. Okay. Because it is not able to click there. Okay. So in that case, what we have to do, stop the flow. Okay. So first, yeah, so till click products, right, and click loans, right. So this is on the first page, right. Go back, products and loans, right. This is on the first page. Now what is happening? Apart from that, whatever the next steps are there, right, it is going to the another tab, right. So what we will do basically, okay, we'll use another use application browser and indicate. We have to indicate here, right. So it should go here. So here mention close neighbor. Okay, it should go. Rename. So what we'll do? What are the rest of the steps? Right, we'll add it. So after this, right, one, two, This steps, Control X, uh, this step, and we'll add it. Now we have it. Now it should work perfectly. Right? So save, or you can do save all here. Right? Let's run. Let's see how it works now. I think it is not moving to that particular tab. All right. So we'll do small change here. Okay. What the small change will do? Go here into the main. Once we are done this, right? Suppose once we are done this activity, right? Very simple. What we can do? We can close that particular tab. Okay, because we are already done with that activity. Right? So close always. Okay, close always. And let's see. Because we are done with that, right? Again, we will not go to that particular page basically, right? So we are closing that particular tab. Okay, it is work. Okay. So can you see here basically what it is mentioned? It mentioned the output value of the right. It's showing it as a verification failed. Why it said the verification failed? Because our expected value was 7, right? And whatever the value from the application we was getting as a 6, right? That's the reason is failed. And here we did not run all the cases, right? So now we'll run all the cases. So go here, okay, debug. I will it go like this. Let's see. But why we are not getting a choice to select all? So what was happening right here? We are getting a choice basically to run on the all the records, or if you want to run on single record, right? So we'll click on the continue. Let's see. I don't know why it's being like. Okay, so at least build this flow. I will show you how it was showing the option. I'm not sure why that option is not getting, because if you are not getting that option, how can we do it, right? So just build this flow, right? I will show you to get to the flow. Okay, but have you cleared the conceptual wise? Okay, so this verification activity, right? Here we are using, right? So this will automatically perform those action. If it is fail, it will say fail. If it is pass, it will say pass. Okay, or it might happen when I have okay converted into the test case, right? But I have selected all. Right here, I can mention, right? For example, click on the next. Right when I selected the file, right, it will show all. Yes, it was the same way. It has a extract. Okay, at least two people try this. Maybe I will try to figure out like why it is not showing. No, here also it's not showing. Okay, let's see. So please go ahead and build.
Well, one question. In
Mhm.
this case, we are kind of comparing the value of,
Yes.
let's say, but let's say if we want to compare the elements which are appearing on the screen, is it done through the same activity or the same procedure, or there is something else?
So same activity, same activity.
So when we have to compare UI elements, so how does that happen? Let's say I just want to check if I do the login or put the credentials over there and click on login. So it gives that, okay, you are able to log in successfully. That kind of message I want to compare. It
So
will be
normally we will not follow this approach. Okay, friends.
okay.
So how what we do basically, suppose okay, okay, suppose you want to verify the login screen is there or not after the log, right? Correct, right? This is your problem statement. So how we are verifying like after the login you are getting the login screen or not, right? Admin password. Okay. So we'll use the element exist and we'll see like after login are we getting this deposit transaction screen on. So like that we are validating. So
So
please check.
at that point, we will compare element access. So let's say the Boolean value as a true. So we will compare
Correct.
that the Boolean variable is matching with true or not. That
Yes.
terms of verification that we can do with that.
Correct. And normally see we are not running from the studio, right? So
Yes.
we are running from the assistant or we are running from orchestrator, right? So that's the reason might be they did not given this remove that functionality, right? And when we'll run from the unattended mode, for example, right, then it will run on all the cases. Okay. But for this test suite, okay, this is called as a test suite, right? Here also we need a separate license.
Okay.
It will not work with our normal UiPath license.
No, no, no.
Okay, so suppose if you go here, right, we are here. Okay, so if you go to the testing, right, so you can see once you publish here, right, it will not go to the like your process or something, right? Uh, your package, your package will come here. So your all the test cases related thing will be available once you publish. Okay, so that's the reason they have made separate thing for the testing and our RPA process.
Okay.
Okay, so done.
As I'm on from the testing background, so wondering that, for example, we have many different kind of verification points. For example, you have shown like the loan rate should be 6%, it is coming 7 or 10%. So
Mhm.
these are kind of validation test case that we perform. Then there are few test cases, for example, the workflow test cases that the business process should be followed in a certain way. So those kind of test cases also we can put into test manager, because actually what I am asking that basically development team and testing team are separate. So from the testing team perspective, they 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 just wanted to take these verification points, or they wanted to record the business process, that business process should be working the way it should be working. So all those things can be done eventually with this test manager, or these test
No,
cases
no,
like
see, what is test manager? I think you have used Jira, right? For example, or maybe you people
ALM.
have
Yeah.
seen HPALM, right? So
Yes.
those are
Yes.
life cycle management tools, Okay. So suppose if you
Yeah.
go here, right? Let me see it's configured or not. I have to check. Okay. Test manager, right? So whatever the things we are doing by using Jira or we are using ALM, same thing we can do into this test manager. Okay. So suppose we can go here, like you can create a project. So for example, I have created a project here, right? UI demo. So here we can have a requirement. Okay. So we can create a requirement, for example, login functionality, right? So we can create those kind of requirement here, right? Similar way, we can create a test cases, right? So this is login flow, this is password flow, username flow, right? And then we can bundle into the set of test cases, right? Test set, right? So what is a test set? A group of test cases is equal to test set, right? Then whatever the flow you are ran, right? So you can see whatever the flow you have ran, right? We can see the test result. Okay. So those flow will be able to run only from the here. Okay. Here from the testing, right? Here we have this run execute, or we can set up a trigger, right? But whatever the test cases or test set we are running, will be able to come to know about the status, either is successful, pass, or something. These are related to the some integration. So if you want to integrate with any of the tool, right? Here we have like Jira or something, right? Where you will be able to do, right? So, but basically, the purpose of test manager is like your HPLN or the Jira. So you no need to go and buy another third party tool from your testing point of. So that's the reason they have taken this test manager. So we can build a requirement, even the test cases we can build, test set we can be there. And this is not something can be automation point of view. Okay. Even though you are having some cases which are manual, right? That cases also we can add it. Okay. So this is for the we can say requirement management point of view, and where we can add the test cases, test set, and we can update the result of it.
Yeah, we can add both manual and automation
Yes,
over
both.
here
So it is not
as a
mandatory like we
repository.
can add only automation. We can add manual test cases also.
Yeah.
Okay. So the
Okay.
purpose of behind it, right? If you go to the Jira, right? Again, we have to buy any third party tool, right? If we are doing testing, similar way HPLM, right? So rather than using those tools, we can have this one-stop shop, okay, where everything can be.
That tool seems to be quite powerful. Like, like even we can, it seems to be that we can use UiPath test automation in any product. So that one quick question: do we have defect management over here also? If there are any defects or anything,
done.
can we handle from
So
this
far it is
UiPath?
not. So far it's not.
Sorry, I missed you,
No,
Weber.
what I said, so far it is not there. They are in a process, okay. So
Okay,
maybe it
okay,
will come shortly.
okay.
Okay, but here we don't have anything defect related thing. So if you want to add any defect related thing, we can add into the Jira. Okay, and that reference we can give it. So that's the reason we have given this as a integration specific.
Integration with effect tracking tool. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, because thing is like that. So far organization, like few organizations, they have started using it, right? So maybe once they have the clients, right, and they will start upgrading it slowly, okay, because they was in a what you can say since last 2 years, right, they are trying to capture the market for the testing, right? So by this year the companies are started using it, okay, because those products are not that much we can say available easily, right? So it having a lot of cost involved, basically, whatever the
Mm.
components we are going to use it, right? And it doesn't mean if you buy UiPath, means those components will be available along with it, right? No. So if you want to use test manager, we have to pay separate. Okay. If you want to use document understanding, we have to pay separate, right? So
Definitely, yeah.
every time we have to buy a separate license for this actually. So that's the reason. And this cost is like good amount of cost is there, right? So if you go for a Jira, right? Jira is available at very less cost, right? But if you
Right.
go for a test manager, right, there is a huge cost difference actually.
Yeah. And just out of curiosity, I was wondering, like generally, in the companies we see, for example, QTP now, which is known as Unified Function
Mm, mm.
Tester, or Selenium. These kind of tools generally we see used for automation. So suppose there is any organization using ERP product which are not using UiPath for RP automation, but we just wanted to propose UiPath for testing only. So are there kind of companies where this is used only for testing and not for any
So
development?
see, first thing, already companies are using this tool for RP automation. Okay, because first they started from the RP, right? So obviously, those organizations they are already having this UiPath tool, and on top of that, they are leveraging this test manager, or maybe we can say UiPath test suite.
Okay.
Okay, because then
So
only,
okay, yeah. So that I got it. Yeah, that I got it. That companies are using RP automation, but for example, in one of the client I was working, they are not using this automation. So they are using this Oracle Financial CRP. So now we have to propose testing and then we have to propose UFT. Uh, but now, let's say I go to that client and I will say, okay, I will propose this UI path for test automation
mhm, mhm.
only. So will it be a right approach
See, at the end
using it?
we have to see the cost difference and everything, right? So if it is
Yes,
really
yes,
fruitful, then we have to go ahead with, right? Because as I said, we have to see license cost. If you go for a Jira, right, it's having very less cost, right? At the same time, if you go for Selenium, it's open source, right? So we have to see all aspects basically. But one thing I want to tell here, suppose if you are doing something by using Selenium, right? If you need 5 people, right? The same thing can be done here by using 1 or 2 people. Okay, right? Because
yes,
Selenium, there we have to do a lot of coding, right? A lot of background
yes.
setup we
It's
have to
quite
do,
complex. Yes,
quite complex, right? So we have to
yeah.
see those aspects as well. And at the end, if you are coming to conclusion, yes, like this is the best, right? So rather than paying salary for 5 people, we can give salary 1 or 2 people, and whatever the we are saving, right? Also, the time constraint is also there, right? So suppose if you want to automate something and if any functionality is taking 4 to 5 days in Selenium, right? Same thing can be done within few hours in UiPath, right? So we have to see all the aspects or all the points, and then we have to do.
So it can be used into the mainstream testing also,
Yeah, yeah,
considering
already
cost is not an
organization.
issue.
Yes, yes. Already organization has started from this year actually. Okay, previously they was reluctant, but now from this year they have started.
That's very interesting. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Thanks, Deval.
Okay, right. And this is very simple, right? So whatever we have, those functionality in ALM or Jira, same thing we have here as well, right? So this is very simple. And here, like it having some dashboard kind of functionality also available. So how many test cases are passed, right? And also it will show the coverage as well, right? See, you can see. So here for my case, automation, right? 60% was, sorry, 67% is manual and 30% is automated, right? So it will give you all the statistics. But if you want to build it uh, in maybe ALM or Jira, will not able to create this dashboard because there will not mapping automation test cases, right? So we have to see from all the aspects, right, how it is fruitful, and accordingly we have to move. Okay, fine. So I think we have only 6 minutes, right? So we're not able to start the next topic. So maybe today we can conclude here, right? And tomorrow we can continue. Okay. So thank you. Thank you everyone. Have a
Thanks,
good
Thanks
Baba.
for